StrayAllDay.com.
Baldwin, DreAllDay.com, WorkOnYourGame.com. Today's daily discipline is: where is your time best spent? This is a question, not an answer. I can't tell you where your time is best spent, but you can tell yourself and the rest of the world where your time is best spent. The reason why this matters is because we all know we have a limited amount of time. You heard me talk about that a lot in my videos. All my content, I talk about that a lot. And at the same time, because we have a limited amount of time, and especially those of you who live in Western society, like you Americans, is we have this whole culture of work, because we're always trying to achieve, accomplish, make money, move forward, progress, advance, etc. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But when you look at these two things, we have a limited amount of time, but we're always focused on working and advancing and accomplishing. There's a clash between the two, because we're spending a whole lot of our time working and pursuing these advancements, and we can't do everything all at the same time. So we have to make some tough decisions about what we're going to put our time into. And if we make mistakes here and we improperly allocate our most important resource, which is our time, towards things that aren't really helping us advance, then we end up losing the game of trying to achieve our highest possible levels of success, or reaching our potential, or maximizing on what we're capable of doing. So we all need to take some time and really think about, where is our time best spent? What should we be focusing on the most? Where should we be putting most of our attention on? And understand that we can't do everything. All right, even though maybe we want to do everything, we can't do everything, because there's a limited amount of time, there's a limited amount of space, there's a limited amount of everything, at least on a daily basis. And a human being can only focus on one thing at a time. That's a limitation that we all have. So that means you got to make some tough choices. There are some things that need to be eliminated, and there are some things that you are not doing enough of that you should be doing more of. And there are a whole bunch of things, a lot more things that you're doing a lot of that you should be doing very little of. And that all connects to the Pareto's principle, also known as the 80-20 principle. 80% of your results come from 20% of your inputs. And the challenge for many of us is that we never really sit down and think about consciously, how can I put more of my resources into this 20% that is producing most of my results? And how can I delete more of this 80% of stuff that is only producing 20% of the results? And because many of us never do this, and the reason we don't do it is because we are habitually married to our current processes. We're habitually married to doing that 80% of things is only producing 20% of the results, even though it's not really doing anything for us. It's not really moving the needle, but we're so used to doing it that we just keep doing the same stuff. This is what happens to a lot of us, and the reason why many people don't advance. Again, not because we don't have information, not because we're not intelligent, not because we're not willing to work hard, and it's not because we don't have goals and don't want to succeed. At least those of you who will watch a video like this one, you don't have that problem. Now, there are people out there who do, but you ain't one of them. The reason that you don't move forward is because your habits are keeping you in the same spot. You are so used to your comfort zone, and it is so difficult for you to move out of that comfort zone emotionally and mentally. Has nothing to do with your actual skill set or your tangible abilities or your intellect. None of that is the challenge. It is the emotional challenge of getting out of your comfort zone, of getting out of that 80 and focusing more on the 20. That's what keeps you from getting to where you want to go. And because it's ingrained in us that we're supposed to be spending all our time busy and active and working. And if you were to really incorporate this 80-20 thinking and focus more on the 20 and less on the 80, you would actually have more time on your hands, because you wouldn't have to spend so much time working, because the time you spend on the 20% is a very small amount of time. It's only 1/5 of your time. You can get a whole lot more done and achieve a lot more outcome, and you don't need to work all day. But the challenge for many of us is that we can't emotionally move ourselves to that space. Fixing that solves a whole lot of problems. So with that said, let me tell you all, I send out a text message every day called the Daily Motivation. I also send out a weekly message called the Monday Motivation. It's free to join my texting community, so just text me at my number, which is 305-384-6894. Once you text me, you'll be in that texting community, and when those messages, once you get in, we'll tell you what your options are for how often you want to hear from me. Secondly, Work on Your Game University. That's the only place I do any coaching. If you want me to help you on what I just explained and how you can get over this hump, this issue that I know that you have, go to WorkOnYourGameUniversity.com. Again, that's the only place I coach anybody. And you can schedule a call with me or somebody on my team. We'll talk about where you're at, where you want to go, how we can possibly help you. Links and the number down below in the description. Hit the subscribe button so you're notified every time we drop a new video here. Work on your game. Dre, all